Hey, welcome to the Team Babe podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm Babe.
And I'm Robin, and I'm Babe.
You might notice something a little bit different here.
It is a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, for all the, hundreds of thousands of viewers out there.
The diehards.
The diehards that are catching this show, every week. We've had a little change of scenery.
I know. We're trying to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you feel it? Can you feel the comfort?
And we're trying to enjoy things.
Yeah, how's that going? How's the enjoyment factor so far?
It's pretty comfortable.
We're a few seconds in.
I mean, I have to say, this couch is more comfortable than what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Which is sitting on a wooden chair. So, yeah. I mean, we may be onto something here. This is not the studio. This is not our dream studio. I mean, not at this point. You know. But it might get there. You never know.
We're playing the long game on this one, We don't want to grow too fast.
Yeah.
Because that presents a whole set of issues in and of itself, man. That fast growth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you keep up with it? I don't know if we could. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with shit. I'm getting too old for this shit, to quote, what's his name? Danny Elfman.
No.
Danny Glover.
Okay. I was going to say, some Danny said that. I was going to say, yes, I'm getting too old to be uncomfortable all the time. Which is, why I very rarely, wear high heels. Yeah. Pumps, as you might call them.
Pumps. Is that... Oh, okay. I wondered about that. Is pumps... What does that mean? Why are they called pumps? What the fuck? That sounds kind of weird and, sexual.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, high heels are weird and sexual, aren't they? I mean, you're standing up on your little tippy toes and, you kind of, it gives you that automatic butt lift sensation. And, there's some science to it. But pumps, I mean, to me, that's just because of the way you walk in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
we're gonna have to probably look this up.
But you can call them high heels, pumps, stilettos.
Yeah.
Platforms, what have you.
I noticed that you don't have your pumps on tonight.
I never have my pumps on anymore. I mean, it has to be.
That's part of the whole comfort thing, I guess.
But that's what I'm saying. It has to be. You almost have to pay me to put them on at this point. I mean, I love the way they look, but I hate the way they feel.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we got to get you some of those real super comfy Birkenstock pumps or whatever. I think they have a new cork based all leather high heels line.
I've already got those. Those are my Dansko 4-inch heel work shoes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got those big ones.
I got
those
them.
pump.
They're appropriate, all right, but they still lift your butt up.
So why the fuck do you wear them?
Because I like to be the boss.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I was thinking because you're so inappropriate all the time.
Oh no, they're
your irreverence level.
No. I'm already 6 feet tall, so when I put them on, I'm 6'3" or so, and so it's just it's an extra intimidation factor. It gets your foot off the nasty ass floor. And it makes you a boss. So.
Don't any shoes get your foot off the nasty ass floor?
Not
you
4
want to be
inches.
farther up there. You want to have Kiss go-go boots or something like that.
I want to be really far from the floor, especially with Corona. Okay, you can't be far enough from the floor.
Keep me off the floor.
I would levitate through the grocery store if it was an option.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the comfort. I'm into it.
Okay, good.
Hopefully it looks good. We don't look like the trash, garbage people that we actually are, or whatever.
Well,
in real life, I usually walk around with I don't know, torn sheets and stuff hanging off my body, and
sure, yeah. But no, you know what you do in real life is you have your hobo beard.
Yeah.
But today you shaved it off.
I did.
And look at you, you're all shiny and new.
I'm very shiny. It's because I'm sweating. I'm perspiring because all of a sudden this area decided to stop being just a reasonable, friendly place, and now it's close to 100, and you're gonna get 100. It was probably 100 today.
It was. It's gonna be 111.
Yeah. That's when people say 100 as a good thing. I'm like,
Oh, 100. Yeah,
I'm kind of
I
like,
use that.
100. That just makes me think of 100 plus degrees, which is not good for anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what if it's 100%?
100% makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's much quicker to say 100 than 100%. Yeah.
So how are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, doing great. Taking a powder.
A powder?
Yeah. What
What's
does
that
that
mean?
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Oh, damn it.
Jinx, you owe me fucking 10,000 sodas.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even plan that.
Gotcha.
That's really weird.
Gotcha. No, we wrote that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I mean that goes back. We came up with the best idea that day in the writers' room.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. No, I'm doing fine. That's what you asked me.
Yeah. Well, what's a powder? So you're taking
a powder.
a break?
Don't they say that for like a break? Take a break. Take a powder. Is that like go and powder your face? That's for a lady.
I mean, you would say I'm gonna
Like
go
a
to
lady of the night.
I'm gonna
whatever.
go powder my nose, or I'm gonna go to the powder room. I've never heard someone say I'm gonna take a powder. Does that mean I'm gonna snort coke or something? Like, I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's like, yeah, take a break.
Take a break. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll put that on this week's Twitter poll.
I can't wait for this Twitter poll. I will be the first to vote.
There are going to be so many things on that Twitter poll. Like it's going to be massive. Like
if you went back and like I made a
all
list.
the categories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
That's what I want you to do.
There's a large number.
That's what you're gonna do on your time off from work. You're gonna make that list and put it on Twitter.
While I'm taking a powder, I'll go back and painstakingly transcribe each episode.
All I can think of is like powdered wigs.
Yeah.
When you say that, I'm taking a powder. Like I picture you putting on a powdered wig.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's right. That's good. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. It's fine. It's fine and dandy. Glad to be here. I'm coming to you from this hot and steamy June night in Shasta County.
Boo.
Yeah. So I don't know. How are you all doing? How's everybody feeling out there?
Like, I mean,
You getting a little antsy yet?
yeah. I think that's a thing.
Back to work? Back to play?
Back to school. Oh, wait. No, wait. We're not going back to school. Are we? Are we going back to school?
Not yet.
Okay.
We just got done with that.
That's true.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
we better not be.
We're always in school, homeschool.
Yeah.
But are we ever going to go back to college? Are we going to like fulfill our hopes and dreams, of like being a college graduate?
Well, since I already have like, for a time I was thinking about like going for another PhD, but I'm thinking about just hanging tight with the PhD and like doing a podcast.
Oh, you
Probably
mean
just gonna,
you mean like sound production?
yeah.
Yeah,
There's a doctor of that, right?
Doctor of Sound Production. Yes, that's called Doctor Producer.
I think my body is a doctor of sound production.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
All the noises and stuff, the little gurgles and burbles and
farts
and burps and whatnot.
Yeah.
Sweat, I'm sure, makes a noise.
I mean, I could say mine is too because, every time I take a drink out of a cup or chew my food, I'm also producing many sounds that some of us don't enjoy. I try. I mean, I do try to chew with my mouth shut, but that's about it.
You know what would be fun is if we had like a 140-pound Great Dane sitting between us.
You know what?
Speaking of like noises and farts and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Those dogs, I mean, when you said that, the first thing I pictured was like, okay, the camera's like right here, right?
Oh yeah, no, they would knock it over.
Oh,
for
not
sure.
Not only that, but if, our Great Danes sat on the couch, especially the male Great Dane, all you'd be able to see is his penis. Like right at the camera.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then you'd like turn around a bunch of times and you have to look at his butthole, and then he'd like get right on top of you.
He'd probably like
yeah.
shake his head and sling some slobber onto the wide angle lens.
I can hear it now.
Yeah.
It makes that special
we don't have a doorbell, but if we did, do you think you would still expect
oh my god, the dogs are barking.
The bark from Paul
yeah.
when somebody rang it?
We haven't had a doorbell for a long time. Yeah, the next time we get a doorbell, I'm sure I'll be like, oh no, the dogs are gonna
We'll have to we should try to recreate or find, a friend or somebody who has a Great Dane and get some bark noises and make a custom doorbell that is that.
Oh god, that would stress me out, man. I'd be like, run, everybody. The dogs are coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, we haven't stopped doing much other, we've stopped doing all the things you're supposed to, but we've been able to
like what?
And some that you're not.
What did you stop doing that you were supposed to do?
Like, going and hanging out with friends and
socializing.
Yeah.
And such.
Sharing taking a drink off of somebody's soda or something like that. I don't think I've done that for a long time, but I'm trying to think of the things. Or go be in business or something, like if you have a storefront.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we've been good. But I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit going on right now, right? With because so much stuff is reopening and people are trying to go back to normal. And then right here, you told me the other day that we had 14 new cases, all originating from one party or something.
That's a lot for Shasta County. It's not a lot for other counties, but here that's a lot. Yeah, and it's all one family.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of family, we did actually have some socialization. We celebrated Father's Day and my mom and my grandma's birthday today with a socially distanced outside sort of gathering of sorts.
Yeah. And
grandma,
you tried to take far too many of your grandma's oranges. You know that there's a limit of 2, and that is a limit that's given begrudgingly.
So my grandma is turning 103.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
And on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
We celebrated early because I like to get 100,000 miles away from here on the 4th of July. And and so, we made some cupcakes, we brought them some presents, we got together and we visited outside. And I think it was all pleasantries for the most part. But she has all these fruit trees and they're just full of fruit, And so Charlie, he wanted to pick a couple oranges. And I said, hey, Grandma, is it okay if we pick a couple of oranges before we go? Now, mind you, she can't remember how old she is or what her phone number is or anything.
The answer to a question that she just asked and you answered 2 minutes ago or
right.
20 seconds ago.
Or if you asked her what happened to your teeth.
Yeah, she's losing every time we see her, which isn't all the time now, super regularly, but she's got 3 or 4 fewer teeth.
Yeah.
It's
it's bad. There has to be some dentures at some point. Yeah. Anyway, she said, oh, but you can have oranges, but only 2. It better not be more than 2. I was like, wow. Of all the things you can remember, you can remember to be stingy. That's nice.
Right. She can remember that, but she can't remember to and she couldn't physically do it, but she couldn't remember to eat them or go out and pick them herself.
No.
Yeah. Or when, your mom picked some for her and brought them in, she didn't eat them.
No.
They just sat there and rotted.
Right.
It's
so there's no logic to it other than don't you take all my oranges. And the real kicker was I gave her $3 in her card,
For 103, you started over?
I started over. She gets $3 in her card. And this is like an old joke because she's been giving us like $4, for Christmas or whatever for like the last 5 years because she doesn't even know what she's doing. So I thought, well, this will be fun. It'll be $3 and she can count it over and over and over again. And if she loses it, it's only $3. You know what I mean?
Right.
And because she's always losing stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously. And so I think I saw her open the card and count the $3 about 15 times. And each time she was delighted with that $3.
She's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. And I said, hey, I don't want you to spend that all in one place. And she was like, oh, I won't. No.
No.
So
Could we spend it on some teeth?
yeah. Anyway, we had a good chuckle on that one. But yeah, she was happy as a clam. She got soap, candy, a can of bubbly water, and $3. And yeah,
Happy as a clam.
happy as a clam until we took those oranges.
Yeah.
But I have to say they were rather delicious.
I didn't eat mine yet.
Oh
Hopefully you guys didn't eat it. I bet Charlie did.
no,
You think
it's
you'd
over
eat the
there.
orange?
No.
No, that's fine. Who ate my fucking orange? Yeah, no. I'll just start raging out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was given like kind of sideways looks when we would pick like those plums too. And it's like here the tree is loaded with plums. Like the limbs are about to break off of the thing or whatever.
I asked her if she was going to make some jam.
Yeah, she's like,
no.
What the fuck are you talking about? I wish she would start cursing. That'd be great. That'd be so funny.
That is really funny because she never really used profanity like when I was growing up unless she got super pissed.
Really?
And then she would like break her Christian no profanity rule and she'd say like shit. Or she'd say
Your
like
grandma would say shit.
Yeah, or she'd say like God damn it.
That's the Lord's name.
Yeah, but if she wasn't super pissed, she would say, "Oh, fiddle faddle," or piddle diddle.
Piddle diddle. That's a different one.
Yeah.
My grandma would say, "Oh, Shaw."
That always killed me. I was like, "Why even bother if you're gonna say that?"
She had a few others, but I can't remember them. But they were stupid.
Yeah, they were very Midwestern.
That's a Midwestern thing?
The Shaw thing, yeah.
Shaw.
Yeah. Well, it's like pshaw, like
pshaw.
But it's like the shorthand version.
I thought maybe it was like an anti-Muslim thing or something.
Very much doubt it.
Is the Shaw like a Muslim thing?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
Oh God. Well, now that fucking NSA is listening,
I think you better do some research, man.
I'm gonna research the NSA.
Let's get to
the Shaw.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Another thing we did this week that you did this week that was kind of like after, it wasn't exactly sheltering in place. You went to the gym, man.
Yeah, man. My gym reopened and they're doing a bunch of really good social distancing rules, lots of cleaning, minimizing the number of people in the building, adequate space between.
So they're taking it
mats.
seriously.
Taking it seriously.
That's nice.
And I figured they would, but I was paying attention.
Good.
When I was in there, and she's like, my trainer's like wiping all the stuff down with the disinfectant cleaner. Nobody's sharing equipment and everything. Anyway, it was good, and I got back in there one time this week.
Yep.
And I practically felt like a new person after that.
I know, you need the gym. I really had to think about it. I was like, should you go back? I don't know. And then you have to be sweating with all these people. But if you don't, what's going to happen to you? I was like, I think you better go back and give it a try for your mental and physical health.
Yeah. There was one other client who was there who was wearing a mask. It was hard to work out in a mask, but I did it. I had to pull it down a couple of times because I was sucking wind.
Sure. You're not really supposed to wear it when you're doing cardio, but if you're just...
It was weightlifting, but it's I'm out of shape.
Sure.
It's hard to believe. I know from looking at, basking in the glory of the David statue here.
I would never describe you as out of shape, in my opinion.
I've got that right shape. I've got those little toast buns.
Oh, those
Oof.
little toast buns. They really
I
do it
bent
for me.
over in front of you, putting. Oh, I've got another story to tell you after this. And I was putting away the like something in the safe or whatever
Yeah.
last night before we went to bed. And you walked right by me. You didn't smack my ass. You didn't like pretend to hump me. You didn't like do anything fun that I would have done.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's like a missed opportunity. Like I would never miss that opportunity.
I know. Believe me, I know. I can attest that is 100% true.
I mean, that is like maybe no, it's not the longest running runner, but it's a long one.
I mean, it's
Ever
been,
since we've
pretty much since
living together.
Oh no, before that. Oh no, this has been going on.
Oh right.
Basically, our entire relationship. As soon as we I think it basically as soon as we had sex, you're like, oh yay! Now, whenever I see you, I'll be able to grab your ass and your tits and pretend to hump you, and like it'll be funny and fun and not a big deal. And I've been waiting my whole life to do it. Yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
The good thing though is that I get consent before, during, and after all humping jokes,
Yeah,
which does kind of fucking step on the punchline. But I mean, it's important because I don't want to get me too'd by my wife of 21 years or whatever.
You have my consent, and if you don't know that by now, you're an idiot.
Okay, just wanted to be sensitive to
Oh, I'll let you know if you don't have my consent. I mean,
yeah, I guess I'm not too worried about that.
I mean, I've
fairly...
let you know a couple of times, not in that particular regard, but if you're like irritating me, I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, just a couple times.
Yeah,
You let me know a couple of them.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a punch straight to the balls.
That has never happened, you liar.
That's another runner.
I mean, it's still a possibility. I mean, you pissed me off enough, and all bets are off, man.
That's definitely not my goal.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
have
good.
Goals. I've got hopes and dreams. I've
Yeah.
got ways and means.
Damn.
I beat you to it. Sorry, I stepped on you there. Yeah, so I got back into the gym, and wearing a mask while working out sucks. But like, I think it was cool.
I think it was worth it.
I think I looked like a cool like workout ninja, like a fat one, but cool. I am completely 100% taking charge of every aspect of my life from this second on forward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so it's a whole program. It's a system. It's a system of a down. It's a system of an up.
Should I step aside and just let you do your thing from this point
on
forward?
the podcast?
I mean, in all respects, should I just step aside and just give enough birth for this like event here?
For the aircraft carrier USS Jason to fucking pull into port.
Or
please do not do
Did
that.
you need a co-pilot?
I need a co-pilot. I need at least an ensign.
Okay, I
Could
can
you
do
be
that.
Could you be my Dr. Crusher?
Oh, 100. I'm all about crushing.
Dr. Beverly Crusher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's an awesome name.
That is
Star
a good
Trek:
name.
The Next Generation. That's good.
It
Yeah,
puts
if you want a hot TV tip, check that out.
I mean, it puts me right to sleep, but
It's my favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's good.
I understand it. I mean, on a scientific level.
Speaking of a line, my gym.
Yeah.
They're like a longtime sponsor of me.
Just of you.
Of me.
Because you're a celebrity,
fan, you know?
But they love those toast buns. I mean, who doesn't? Anyway, go ahead.
What can I say? I don't want to brag. But yeah, just pop them down into those little slots that come up all toasty.
Oh.
But they're very white.
Oh, they're
Extremely
very white. I'll attest to that.
Anyway, they are having some big stuff trying to get things rolling again. So if anybody's interested in like going and working out at like what I feel is easily the best, cleanest, like most personalized, awesomest gym in town,
And
let me know.
they got 2 locations, right?
Get in touch. Oh, well, they got one in Chico and then
Yeah.
one here.
They got a Chico Redding deal.
Chico Redding.
Hey, guess what? I'll tag them.
Tag them.
I'll give them a shout out. Okay?
Tag them. Tag them
Yep.
and bag them.
Yep. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, get in touch and I can get you set up to talk with some folks and get you in that workout sitch.
Yeah.
Jacking the big steel up over your head. But we don't do just that, man.
Oh, no.
No.
Now, the nice news about Align is that they let us keep the rower for a little longer.
Ooh, yeah.
And man, I've been rowing up a storm. You know? And I got to tell you, like, the rower doesn't do a whole lot for your buns, okay? But
it does, though. It will.
Not for my buns, okay? But, like, it does do a lot for, like, your, torso. So I am happy to report that I now can see my hip bones for the first time in 2 years.
You attribute that to the rower?
I do. Yep.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, we should tag Concept 2 in this episode, too.
Yeah.
Maybe they can send us another one. Or maybe send us a ski erg, too, so we can have both.
Ooh. So, yeah.
The most nightmarish types of working out ever.
I don't know why the rowing is so satisfying or whatever, but it seems to be working for me, at least during quarantine.
I like it, too. No, it's good. It's great. Full body cardio, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a good lead in to, we've kind of decided to kind of take the turn the ship a little bit or whatever and take the podcast in the direction of talking about like sports, like working out.
Who do you
maybe
think,
like the UFC
who do
or
you
something
think
like
I am,
that?
man? Do I look like Joe Rogan to you? I mean, I don't even
God,
want to.
thank God. No, you did not.
Okay, thank you. I don't even want to say his name. It's kind of like Beetlejuice a little bit. But no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna make millions of dollars. This is art, don't you know?
Man. It's like the Renaissance. It's like the podcast Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know. What would be like kind of a mid-level Renaissance art player? Raphael or something like that. He's like sort of like big.
I'd say he's a pretty high level player.
Well, he's high level, but like you got the main ones like Michelangelo and Da Vinci, right?
I gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Like, are there tiers in there?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm Raphael.
Okay.
Who are you?
I'm the Mona Lisa.
Oh shit. That's not a Ninja Turtle though, so that doesn't work.
I know. I don't like the Ninja Turtles. That was like, I was too old for that, man. Sorry.
I wasn't.
I know.
You're younger than me, and I wasn't too old for that.
I couldn't be a kid anymore. I don't know what to tell you. It was a sad little story, Speaking of kids, now, we watched a fun podcast episode today. I mean, much like this.
Yeah, very incredibly much like this.
Incredibly, a lot like this.
Started right around the same times. I think they only have like 587,000 subscribers on YouTube, somewhere in there.
Okay, but
so I mean, they're doing okay.
To be fair, okay, like they had a career. Like we haven't had a career yet.
They've had a career. We have a rear.
We're still working on that career idea, you know?
Yeah.
So we were watching Endless Honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very enjoyable. I mean, I have to say, at first I was a little bit like, oh, this is boring. But, after, 3 or 4 times, I'm like, all right, that's pretty funny. And then I'm starting to see some parallels, They had the same pillows on their couch. And then they kind of had the same couch. And I was like, what's happening here? Like, are these people like the rich version of us or something? Like, could we be these people someday? Boy, that'd be nice.
Like, I think Moshe is like a year younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And, Natasha's a few years older than that.
Right,
the host of this show or whatever.
The 2 married comedians.
We also, I think, independently, sort of like, of course, it's not like, because I think we started podcasts right around the same time too, but like We both end our show almost the same.
Oh, we do?
It's kind of weird.
Okay. See, like, it's like
And
unbeknownst to me.
I'm pretty sure like I started doing that like without having seen that before, so I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I see the parallels, though, except we are not
Except
rich.
for the fame and fortune. And
But-
like, you know, doing the thing that you really want to do with your life. I assume that that's what they want to do.
So that leads me to my comment.
Oh,
Okay. So like they were all, oh, we spent our 20s and 30s, you know, just like having so much fun and, you know, like just doing everything that we wanted to do.
having
and,
all these experiences.
and fucking all these people and going to all these festivals and, you know, like doing drugs and blah, blah, blah. And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like that's pretty common for like 20s and 30s. Like I'm not like judging that. That's fine. I don't care.
Totally, yeah.
But I was like, we did the total opposite of that,
Yeah.
you know, right? Like, so our 20s and 30s were like having small children and being strapped to, you know, jobs and mortgages and whatever. Like, we took it, we skipped that part.
Mhm.
We skipped that fun
Yeah.
20s exploration, you know, time period.
Yeah.
And that's all on me. I'll take the blame on that. And so then they had a caller that called in, and her big problem was that her mother-in-law was like pressuring her to have children, you know, because she was 25.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's time to have kids. Everybody's having kids. Like, where are these kids, right? And I just had this funny little thought that was like, well, nobody ever pressured me to have kids.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but that's because I was a teenager when I got pregnant. And there wasn't enough time for anybody to even think of pressuring me to have children because I beat them to the punch.
Yeah, man. You're a full court press on pressuring
Myself.
yourself.
So I was like living the caveman life where I was like, I got to get this shit done before I die. So let's get to it. Let's get this family started. There's
Yeah.
no time like the present. And you were 0% on board with that plan. And so here we are, you know, 20 years later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
totally.
so now our kids are almost grown up. Their kids are babies, right?
Mhm.
And so that means that they're going to spend this moment in time raising tiny children or one child or whatever
Yeah.
and being, you know, tired and all the things like, right? All the super heavy duty responsibility. And we are on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And in just a few short years, we'll be out partying and going to festivals and
Yeah.
dropping MDMA and whatever, you know,
Breaking our
right?
hips and stuff.
And so we'll be experiencing our 20s, but in our 40s
Right.
and 50s and 60s, you know, right?
Us and Madonna and Janet
well,
Jackson.
she got it on both sides. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
she cheated.
It helps to have a lot of cash, apparently,
Yeah, that's what I hear.
and be like, you know, really famous, like rock star.
So I'm really glad that nobody pressured me to have children. That was my own pressure.
Yeah.
Um,
That would have been intolerable.
and I'm sure that everybody around me was appalled and horrified. And I understand now. At the time, I was like, "What's the big deal?
What's your big fucking problem, man?
Don't judge
What
me.
are you waiting for?
I'll have kids
You're
when I say so."
fairly impatient person, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I'm working on it though.
I don't know how I would describe myself. Am I impatient?
Well, you're not impatient about having children, but you're
Other things.
you're very impatient about other things. Oh yeah.
Really? What do I do? Do I smash?
Yeah, you turn into the Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh God. Man.
Anyway, yeah, so like things have been crazy. I think like in the news, obviously everything's just still continuing to be
Yeah.
off the rails, kind of crazy, very
the
chaotic.
COVID, the fucking all the the
Protesting.
George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, the protests.
The politics scene is just like, wow, intense as ever. I think it's kind of reaching maybe its boiling point. I mean, I really think it's like we're hitting the mark. And then now California's mandated to wear masks. I'm like, hallelujah. Why don't you all put your mask on and quit being an asshole?
Yeah.
Other people are like, don't ever tell me to wear a mask. So there's all this conflict.
Sure.
We got into that a little bit today at the
at the Father's Day
yeah.
gathering, the Father's Day
We'll probably get into it
birthday.
tomorrow with the other Father's Day gathering. And be rest assured, I will put the smack down on that. So
All right,
that'll be fun.
great.
And racism, too. I will put the smack down on racism while I'm at it.
Definitely.
We'll have the mask debate. We'll have the racism debate. We'll have like some other problem too, probably too, like vaccinations or like women's rights or abortions. I mean, something will come up.
Well,
We
I
can
didn't
talk
mention
about.
it, but we also got I got chemtrails today
Oh yeah, yeah.
from your dad.
I checked out on that. I
Yeah.
was like, boop.
Yeah. Okay. Heard this one 5 million times. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's been. Uh,
No.
sorry, I don't have a soundboard, so I have to like approximate the
Oh.
little drops.
No, that was very right on. I just don't want to get that stuck in my head. But go ahead.
Don't get it stuck. Yeah. So anyway, it's just crazy. Yeah, wondering how they're gonna enforce like the mask thing and stuff. I mean, they can't really. Like they don't. There's not enough cops to
But
like go around and say,
sure.
"Hey,"
We're all
and
supposed
write
to.
tickets and
We're
everything.
all supposed to consider each other and
It's
have
part of the social
responsi-
contract.
social
man.
responsibility and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we've been doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
we
right.
never stopped.
No. That's
Yeah.
because we try to be considerate.
That's right.
But my dad had a theory about how everybody is going to be convinced to wear masks, right?
What was that?
Wasn't that the chemtrails? Like they're going to
Oh, yeah,
spray
yeah, yeah.
people with the tame spray or whatever, and then everybody's going to be really complicit and wear their masks or
Well,
something.
it was a strange argument because it was like, so there haven't been chemtrails there were since the COVID, shutdown and stuff, because not as many flights, right?
Oh, I've really been checking on it.
So they haven't been the chemicals. I mean, and the thing is that the pilots, they don't really know. They this shit, the spray nozzles and everything are put on there by like the deep state or whoever. So the pilots aren't responsible for it. This shit just happens without them knowing it. So that stuff rains down and it makes it does a bunch of stuff to us, apparently. Many things, a whole laundry list of things. But one of the things that it does is it makes us complacent and makes it so that we don't stand up against things that are going on that we disagree with.
But hasn't that been happening? Oh, because there's been no airplanes, and now what?
That's what doesn't make sense. That's one of those
I don't
things with your
understand.
dad's like conspiracy theory argument things where it's like he
Contradicts
he
himself?
contradicts
Oh.
makes a contradictory
Yeah.
point. It's like, no, they haven't been spraying this on there, and then those chemicals are why we don't stand up to people looting and doing all this stuff. He managed to swing it racist somehow.
I see. I see. That's no surprise.
It was not a surprise.
No, I see. So, we'll all wear a mask because the chemtrails will rain down upon us. Is that the deal?
No, the mask is no help, man.
I thought the 5G was.
Those chemtrails will get right in there.
I thought the 5G was going to give us the Rona. That was the last
Those
thing I heard.
chems go right through the N95 mesh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bummer deal.
Did you want to talk about? Well, there's all that all the racist shit kind of going away, dismantling Confederate monuments and stuff. Finally,
yeah.
Marine Corps is not going to use or allow the display of the Confederate flag anymore, which is
Good.
Yeah.
It's about time, right?
Why the fuck would you does the English army have little things where they display the stars and stripes?
No.
We're friends, we're ally countries or whatever, but we fucking left.
It doesn't make any sense.
I guess maybe they would if we tried to leave and then it didn't work out. Maybe there'd be whatever our Revolutionary War flag, the "Don't Tread on Me," would be British Army people would put it on the back of their lifted fucking Chevy Silverado.
They don't even do that. They don't even do that shit. You know what? I have a client that's British, and he is just I am so just dismayed by so many things that what's happening in the United States, it's like we can't have a conversation about it. So the tables have truly turned in that respect. But yeah, my story about the Confederacy is that with all of the news about the Confederate statues coming down, especially in southern states where like that is, has been looked upon as like the heroes of the South, right? I remembered that my grandma, um, who passed away last year at like 98 years old or something, she was part of the Daughters of the Confederacy or whatever.
Mm.
This club that's like a nationwide thing that's like dedicated to lifting up the heroes of the Confederate War in the southern states. And they're really the ones that are responsible for those statues. They're like the ones that like bankroll them.
Yeah, yeah.
And even though she lived in California for the good part of her life, she was from North Carolina and big time Southern Belle, racist, obviously. And so when I was in high school, I was thinking, oh, how can I get some scholarships? Like how can I like use my family connections to get some scholarships? She was the only person that had any affiliation to a club or society or whatever, and they were giving scholarships from the Daughters of the Confederacy. At the time, I didn't even put two and two together. I was just like, oh, sure, I'll apply for the scholarship or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 14.
They're like, yes, you can go to KKK school
Yeah.
or something.
Well,
like,
I've already been admitted and rejected from KKK school, in my growing up.
oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
just like the school of hard knocks.
That's just the school of my family. And so, anyway, I didn't get the scholarship. That was all for nothing. I did get an offer to go to Alabama State University for free, which I turned down. So yeah. Anyway, all said, I was not down with that whole
Wait,
situation.
you could have gone to Alabama State or is that what the school is?
Or University of Alabama. Yeah.
For free?
My yes, I could have gone for free as long as I agreed to, 1, moving to Alabama, 2, living with my aunt, who
Yeah.
was a big time racist. I think she was in the Daughters of the Confederacy also. And I couldn't wear my Yankees hat. And I couldn't talk about the North. I couldn't talk about New York or California. But I could, if I moved there and I became a good Southern belle, I could have gone to the University of Alabama for free. And I said, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Wow. So she was going to pay
Yeah.
for it.
Yep. She was going to convert me.
Yeah.
And
That's a tough one.
I went and toured the campus and the whole
You did?
shit. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. That's crazy. I mean, you could have just said you would do all that shit and then like
I wouldn't have had to live with
you could have
her.
gotten like,
No.
like a black boyfriend or something.
No.
And,
You don't understand. Like,
been like,
no.
what's up?
I had spent enough time with these people where I was like, oh, I want to be as far away from this as possible. Yeah. So that didn't work out, and she was very upset with me. But that's okay.
That's okay.
That is
We're all right
okay.
with that.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're dismantling. They're moving on.
Finally.
from
Good God.
a bunch of shit like this. So it's good to see.
It is good.
Things actually feel like they're maybe changing a little
I
bit.
think so.
Or whatever, or
Man.
at least. And I'm sure some people that are saying they're changing are just paying lip service because there's a lot of
There's
pressure
fear.
to do so and
Yeah.
fear to do so.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other ones, man. I've seen some videos where I'm just like, holy shit. Counter protest groups and stuff like that. It's like, wow, I can't believe you are saying that. Like, you're being videoed right now and you're saying that?
Here's the other thing I think is
So brazen, man.
so crazy about this is like, okay, so, shit's happening. People are upset. Protesting's happening. People are asking for change, like in a unified way. Okay, so these statues have been there for like 150 years or whatever. And they've been fighting this shit forever.
Most of them have only been there since like the early 19th century. Like, they weren't there like right after the war.
Oh, okay. But they've been there a long time, right? And
Yeah.
there have been people asking for them to be taken down for many years. because they're racist and they uphold the values of slavery. And nobody could take them down. Oh no, we can't. And then all of a sudden in 1 week, right, there's like 20 statues are gone. And then
Yeah.
all kinds of other stuff too. And it's like, it's amazing how fast things can get done when people are motivated by something. I just find that so annoying. It's like we could have had this done ages ago.
Yeah.
Very obviously.
Well, just like you could have come up with however many $1 billion that they did to like send to people and bail out
Yeah.
giant corporations.
Yeah, like I'm having a hard time. I could use some assistance. Oh no, we couldn't possibly give you any assistance. And then one day,
Yeah.
everybody got assistance.
Listen, we can't afford it, man. Like, I mean, sorry, our hands are tied here. We can't afford it. We would have to shut down national parks and schools to do this.
Right.
Oof. We can't cut any of this other shit out here, and we can't just make up a bunch of money.
Sure. And then one day it happens, and then you realize, like, well, you've been lying for a really long time.
Yeah.
So
the theme of the week is moving on, man.
That's right.
This is we haven't even said, right? This is episode 56.
That's right.
Of Team Babe podcast, right? I think you probably know that if you're here, but just as a little recap for us to kind of anchor us in the moment, keep us present, you know.
Is that what's going on?
That's what's going on for me, man.
Okay.
I mean, not really, but yeah. And so we're doing the COVID-19 mixtape still.
And we are getting
still on that shit. We're getting close,
end.
man. This
close.
is week 15.
Yep.
And this week's track is
Moving On, right?
Moving on.
Time to move on.
Time to move on.
It's time to move on.
One of my favorite songs. Moving on.
I know. It's time to move
Moving
on.
on up.
By Tom Petty.
Yeah, from the 1994 album Wildflowers.
Yeah, which is really truly one of my favorite albums. Probably of all time. It's on my like top 10.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's really good. There's only, we were talking about it last night, there's like one kind of stinker on there. But you know, I mean, it's got the classics. Not really. Not the Tom Petty classics. But
no, but the
sort of if you're a 90s kid.
The Tom Petty solo classics. I mean,
yeah.
There's the Heartbreakers. Different from this. This is Tom Petty solo.
Yeah. You don't know how it feels. Probably be like the biggest.
That's the big hit. But we thought, like, we considered that for this playlist, but we were like, you know what? I think that this Time to Move On song feels more fitting for the moment because there is a lot of moving on and there is a lot of, like, change. And, you know, as much as I think we want change, it feels chaotic and uncomfortable sometimes and just kind of like, wow, like, there's so much is happening all at once. And I think that's true for, like, any kind of change, even if you're just changing locations or, you know, changing your mind. It's just, it gets to be chaotic, you know?
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that, you know, moving on and changing your mind and stuff can like kind of encompass, right? Like it can be like completely changing what you're doing. It can be changing where, you know, you live so that you can kind of do what you've been doing in a more friendly location
in a new way
yeah. And so yeah, it feels particularly fitting in this, like at this time, and then also like I don't know, for us just personally where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been
in this whole crazy thing called life, man.
And I think there's like a big, I mean, I think generally speaking, if you're not conservative, right? There's a big kind of push for like white people to change, to actually do something sustaining.
Yeah.
And I think like that is what is needed to make this change that's kind of like happening stick and be like a real thing that like continues forward and we leave something behind here.
Yeah. Hopefully most of this change even, you know, goes beyond like you know, left, right.
Yeah.
And party lines and stuff. And I think there is quite a bit of that, which is encouraging. But like there's a few themes in this song that are just interesting, like, so there's like the moving on, like kind of striking out, like leaving a place of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's uncomfortable for white people to fucking, like admit all this shit and kind of like reckon with it and come to terms with it and figure out like what to do,
Yeah.
you know and not that we're gonna do that, but like we're making like steps in that direction, like a lot of people are anyway,
Yeah.
or whatever. And so it's uncomfortable territory. It's uncomfortable to fucking like shelter in place in your
Yeah.
house.
I think everybody's already uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole population,
it's
black,
uncomfortable
white,
to wear a
whatever.
mask when you're working out.
Yeah, like we're all uncomfortable anyway, no matter who
Yeah.
you are. And that, in a way, sort of bound people together for a while, sort of being in a situation together. And then it split. And then, all this other stuff happened. And it just exposed the divide, I think, even more.
Yeah.
So now, yeah. So, but I gotta tell you, like, I don't get too hopeful about stuff very often as far as like politics or like, real change in the world. I feel like, there's a lot of being set in your ways, stuff that I've just had to accept that I can't change or whatever. This does feel a little different to me. Like, I think there actually might be some real change that comes out of this that is sustaining. So I actually kind of feel hopeful, where I know a lot of people are really feeling very like down and out right now, but I think it's actually kind of happening.
Yeah.
Something real is happening. So it does give me a little bit of hope.
It's hopeful that it's not just all. I mean, there's a lot of it that is about who the president is.
Oh yeah.
But it's hopeful to me that it's also more than that. Like there's a lot of movement toward, getting different people in Congress and shit like that, and like making these changes that go beyond like legislation and executive type shit or whatever too. So yeah, it's good. And but like for a lot of people, like it's uncomfortable and scary territory, and like that's just where we're at.
The other thing that's interesting about this song is like Tom Petty, he's like from Florida, I think. He's from the deep south. And like I think for a long time he was kind of on the, one of those good old boy Confederate kind of, people. And I think he kind of learned the error of his ways at some point. And
Really?
Yeah. Like when we watched that documentary about his life and stuff, towards the end, like as an older person, I think he did see like that wasn't cool. That there was like some, like he had to reckon with that at some point, I think, because he definitely worked with a lot of black artists, like on his albums, his solo albums. And, like I think as an older person, he had to let some of that Southern pride go.
Do you think he had any of that?
Yeah.
Really? What made you think that?
Just because
because he's from Florida?
And he's white and like...
But he seemed like just sort of like a hippie kid,
Yeah, he was a hippie kid, but like he definitely held
Free
on.
spirit, man.
He held on. Remember in the same documentary, I mean, he was talking about like, we could never have a woman in the band. Like, I mean, there's, there's a lot of that kind of old holdovers and stuff.
Yeah, were they talking about having like whatever Stevie was gonna sing something with him? Or
well, they did a duet, but it was like there could never be a woman in the band.
Not in the Heartbreakers,
or at all. I mean, you know what I mean. So yeah, he wasn't 100% a hippie. He wasn't 100% open-minded.
Yeah,
but
I guess
I think he got over it. He understood that he was a racist at some point.
It's the hippie, like hippie hash smoker, racist, like misogynist Venn diagram or whatever. Tom Petty is like right there in the middle or something.
I mean, you can't have 4 wives without having some woman problems.
Not at the same time.
Oh, I mean, in your life.
Did he have 4?
He was married and divorced a lot. Yeah.
I mean, lots of people do that though, and they're not racist.
I'm not equating the two things. I'm talking about old-fashioned ideas, man.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's like a personal, I take that as a personal offense. Like, if you can't have a woman in your band, you're an asshole. Sorry.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
You know? But all that aside, when it comes to like music and just listening to music and enjoying it, I have to tell you, like, for the most part, I can separate the art from the artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like this particular album just kind of hit me at a weird time. Like I was never a Tom Petty fan before that. I wasn't like there's a lot of country kind of influence in this album. I never listened to country. I was coming off like completely different genre, but this album was just like the right music at the right time for me. Like that was my freshman year of high school. So this particular song, I remember listening to it in my Walkman or my Discman or whatever, like walking to the bus stop. So I had about 15 minutes each day where I got to be alone. So that was when I left the front door to the point where I got to the bus stop. I got
That was the extent of your
that
freedom.
was it. And I got nobody interrupting me and nobody talking to me. And I got nobody fucking with me for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And so it was like 6:45 in the morning. It's freezing ass cold. I've got my little Daisy Dukes on, right? I'm walking to the bus stop, and this album was like all I listened to.
Yeah.
And it was just like this song was. I was like, yes, like I have to move on from this. I have to get out of here. I cannot keep doing this. And so this whole album sort of fueled my like leaving high school, like this whole like
Yeah.
free spirit, like you just got to go do your shit.
Mm-hmm.
This was the soundtrack to that, I think. Like in the beginning.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any of that, but I mean, like, I just like, I don't know, probably some friends of mine got the album and I listened to it and like it was cool.
But it wasn't
I
like your
liked it.
favorite.
But
per se?
no, it wasn't my favorite, because like I was sort of biased against certain sounds, country like sounds and
Yeah.
stuff. I was kind of like, oh, it's fucking lame.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's kind of how I thought it was gonna feel.
Right. The songs are undeniably good, so they're, like the seed was definitely planted and I listened to it a lot or whatever and stuff. And, especially this song, especially like whatever. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't watch MTV in the 90s without, having watched the video to You Don't Know How It Feels like
Right.
1,000 times.
Right.
Well,
it was pretty in your face. It was like a drag queen, like with Tom Petty as this one shot. Like it was very like kind of a fuck you like video and song. It's just kind of like I'm gonna get high. I'm gonna just like get in my car. I'm just gonna be me. Like
yeah.
Right,
but we're not talking about that song, man.
I can talk about that song if I want to, man. Don't tell me what to do.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
Oh no,
I'm only kidding.
Here comes the Scary Terry territory.
What? I'm not Scary Terry.
No, I just thought of that because Scary Territory made me think of Scary Terry.
Oh, I see.
Bitch. Oh, I did it again. Whoops. I did it. Oh.
Man,
Sorry.
You're supposed to be scary.
Sorry, Brittany.
You're Scary Terry because you're Jason. You're Jason Voorhees, man.
Right, but that's different than Freddy.
It's all the same difference, man.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit my teeth on the thing.
Uh-oh.
That's your move. Not with a glass, though. Not with a fucking microphone.
No, I'm a professional. I'm just kidding. Oh.
You're a true pro on the mic. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the song, like, there's that whole theme. It's also like pretty much, I mean, like about a breakup, really. Like if you look at the lyrics, and read through, like I think the second verse is pretty breakup heavy. It's got this cool like broken skyline imagery, which is sort of like, to me, is like, I don't know, you're like moving on. So of course your skyline changes or whatever. It's like I don't know. It's just a cool image or whatever.
Right.
And, he's got some stuff in there that's more breakup related or whatever. But
sure.
It's just cool lyrics. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a love song. It's like a heartbreak and love song in a way.
I think it's all. I don't. Is it?
But
Who's the love interest?
well, I mean, it's like he's you know, like you say, he's breaking up with somebody. He has to leave.
Yeah.
He's leaving comfort. You know, he knows that his time's up. Like, you know, but in the same way, you can apply that same thinking to, is your time up, like in your comfort? Like,
Yeah.
are you growing? Is this who you want to be?
Yeah.
Is this where you want to live? Is this your life? Like, what are you doing?
There's sort of like, it's time to move on. So it's like there's an acceptance there
Yeah.
where it's like, he goes like, oh, fuck, what does he say? She's an honest defector, conscientious objector, now her own protector or whatever. So it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you're on your own. Like, I'm kind of setting you free or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you can handle this.
Right.
Like, it's good. Like,
Right.
and I don't know if he left her or if she left him, or I mean, it's probably not autobiographical at all.
I wouldn't say that.
It could be, but it could totally not be. Sometimes, people write songs like taking on the persona of a situation or whatever as a device to, like, talk
Yeah,
about
that's
something
true.
interesting. It's not always autobiographical.
Well, that's
At least that's
true.
what Nick Lowe said on WTF podcast.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Nick
And
Lowe.
is that the definitive voice on that particular topic? Just kidding.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
he had Obama on.
Just kidding.
Mark Maron is the definitive voice on everything. His fucking girlfriend died, man.
Okay.
Okay?
I was just, I'm sorry.
Like, suddenly.
I was making a bad joke.
Unexpectedly.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. I also, as far as the lyrics of the song go, my favorites are the under my feet, grass is growing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've been standing still too long.
Sure.
That's a great lyric to describe that.
It all like evokes very visual like things for me. Like,
Yeah.
I can see the broken skyline. I can see the feet. And
Uh-huh.
the grass is growing, man.
Uh-huh.
It's getting between your toes, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the which way to something better and which way do I go?
Yeah.
So you're like hitting the fork in the road. It's like
Sure.
you got to make a decision. You got to do something.
That's where we're at, man. Are we going to take the path less traveled by Robert Frost or whatever?
Oh, I'd
Jesus
like to
Christ.
think that I've already done that.
Yeah.
My giant ego would like to think that I've already taken the path less traveled.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely have. You're one in a million.
Oh, thanks.
One in a million. Oh, jeez, can't do that. Yeah, did you know that he said nauseous adrenaline in that song?
Yeah.
I didn't know that till I read the lyrics recently, and I was like, nauseous adrenaline. I thought he was saying noisy as adrenaline.
Oh, weird.
Or noisy adrenaline. Like,
Well, he's Southern.
like it's making you, But
So
do
is he-
Southern people say nauseous? Because, like, that's kind of lame. I mean, I like the lyric and everything, but I don't know. Sometimes it gets on my nerves when, you like say something like broken into such,
Yeah.
like, what are those things called?
Syllables.
Syllables.
Well, when you got teeth like Tom Petty, it's really difficult not to break your words up into syllables because your teeth are like giant choppers,
Does he have big teeth?
Oh, yeah, they're like all one piece, you know what I mean?
So like, as a big tooth person, you recognize game?
Yeah, I do. I've encountered this problem. And
Okay.
people used to think I had a Southern accent when I was a kid.
Oh, right, because you would say ice box and shit
Yeah.
like that because you got it from your parents who are somehow Hicks.
Well, they're both from the South.
Your parents aren't.
Yeah, huh?
I mean, your mom isn't.
Okay.
Your
But
dad,
my dad is.
Yeah, technically, but like grew up here
Yes.
and in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's like, how Southern are you, dude?
Well, when you have family that's from North Carolina, you're pretty Southern.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess if your mom talks in a, Southern Belle, North Carolina drawl,
You saw that video.
North Kakalaki.
That video is so funny. Of her?
Oh, like when your dad was visiting the house and taking
Yeah.
camcorder footage?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that was
Mhm.
great.
Yep. She was
Totally.
talking all about Marilyn Monroe. Well, I don't know if I want to be Marilyn Monroe.
Oh my god. Some
Yeah.
interesting folks, man. Wow. Wow. Wowie wow. 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 Yeah, man. Anyway, so I think that's about it.
Is that it?
I think maybe. Yeah. You got anything else? Are you out of ideas yet?
Yeah, I might be. Is that possible?
I don't know. You're the master interlocutor.
Well,
Interlocutor.
I mean, I try. I try to be an ideal machine, but sometimes, you have to admit you're out of ideas. I mean, I guess I can say that.
Well, I think the big idea for this episode is moving forward, moving on, building things up, not tearing them down. Like, oh yeah, Seth and Jonathan would
Yeah.
say from "Oh yeah, dude,"
Yeah.
and just fucking doing the damn thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're feeling uncomfortable, maybe you
Yeah.
gotta figure that out and move forward and be better.
Yeah, or just like make friends with being uncomfortable and just like realize that, hey, if you're doing like cool shit, you're going to be feeling uncomfortable a lot. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I've had about, I don't know, 15 years being uncomfortable myself.
Is that all?
Um,
I think probably way more than
It
that.
might be like 39, but
Yeah. I think I've got like a little over 41.
yeah. Well, that's what makes us these amazing Gen Xers,
Yeah, that's right. Amazing.
the lost generation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, babe,
Yeah.
here's to being Gen X.
Okay.
Here's to moving on, moving forward,
I like
building
it.
things up, not tearing them down.
Okay, let's do it.
And nauseous adrenaline.
Okay.
All right. So let's bump them out to steal another ending from another from another comedy thing. Bumping mics. Great. We'll just bite everybody.
Jeez, man. What about all this copyright?
Way to take it to a negative place, Jason. God. Damn it.
What happened to our lovey-dovey outro?
Oh, well, no, we're still going to do that. I was
Oh.
for a second, I panicked there and I was like, where's my mic?
It's in your damn hands, man.
It's in my goddamn hands. Yeah. Well,
Um,
thanks for listening, guys. And, babe,
yeah, babe.
thanks for being a super awesome, loving babe.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it any other way,
I know. Yeah. And, I love you, babe.
Love you too, babe.